All right, I know a lot of people are still probably going to be trickling in, but we do need to get started because Representative Vitale is going to have to scoot out of here in a few minutes, and I want to make sure he gets his time to speak. Thanks for everybody for being here today. I know it's hard. It's a Monday. It's not the most optimal day to be here, but I appreciate you guys coming. It's really important, as you all know, that we speak out on this issue. I want to give a special thank you to Mike Hoover from the Make It Fit Foundation. He donated quite a bit of money to help this event get pulled off, so I appreciate that, and he's also donated food for the Vax team. The Kazee family group has also provided meals for the speakers tonight, so I wanted to thank them as well. And our speakers, of course, definitely want to thank them. OAMF is a grassroots organization. We started about a year ago. There was about 30 of us that got together at a Foundation for Applied Conservative Leadership meeting that Dr. Sherry Tenpenny had set up. She wanted to be here today but couldn't. We wanted to affect the system more than we were. We were just kind of wandering around trying to figure out how can we do something, how can we make a difference, and so we got some guidance at this training on how to impact the system more legislatively. So we are standing for informed consent, your right to choose or refuse any medical procedure, including vaccination. We strongly believe that wherever there is risk, there must be choice. And we support any legislation that upholds that right and oppose any legislation that encroaches upon it. Most of you here probably know that Ohio state law allows for right to reasons of conscience exemption, which is the equivalent of philosophical exemption, religious exemptions, and medical exemptions. But we have a bill that's been introduced that's trying to threaten that. HB 564 is seeking to remove the philosophical exemption for school children in the state of Ohio. This is unethical and unconstitutional for a variety of reasons. One being that in 2011, the Supreme Court ruled that vaccines were unavoidably unsafe. Any unavoidably unsafe product should never be mandated. 4 million children a year are vaccinated, and that is a lot of kids to be mandated to have a procedure that's unavoidably unsafe. The former FDA commissioner, David Kessler, in a 1993 JAMA report, which is a major medical journal, he stated that only about 1% of serious adverse reactions were ever reported. And I think most of you in here know that vaccine reactions are reported even less than that because they're typically denied. So we have no idea what number that would be. Only 5% of the cases that get reported to VAERS, the National Vaccine Adverse Reporting System, are ever even make it to vaccine court, and only a very small fraction of those cases get compensated. To date, the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program has paid out $3.4 billion since 1989. So that's 1% of 5% of 1% of injuries that are reported. So it's an astronomical amount of money that would be paid out if the reports actually came in and people were actually compensated. The American Medical Association this year, Section 8.8 of their Medical Code of Ethics, has listed that they support all 3 vaccine exemptions for physicians. Despite last year, they had a huge press release that said, we don't believe that that children or healthcare workers nationwide should have anything except a medical exemption. So they preached that last year, but this year in their Code of Ethics, they believe that physicians have the right to all 3. So I think that's very interesting. This bill violates the 14th Amendment because the Supreme Court has ruled that parents have a right to parent their children, including medical decisions, without state intervention, unless the state has deemed them unfit. Your doctor cannot deem you unfit for choosing not to vaccinate your child. That is not constitutional. This bill also requires a medical education to claim a religious exemption. So we've got a violation of the First Amendment there by adding a 3rd requirement for a religious belief. The Constitution says your religious belief needs to be religious in nature and sincerely held. That is it. You should not be having to sign a form saying what religion you are, or you have a particular religion that does not believe in vaccination, or give me verses that say why you don't want to vaccinate. None of that. You need to just say you have a sincerely held religious belief and attach a copy of the First Amendment to that if you want. Some doctors' offices are currently having people sign this, even though this is not law. So, and we hope it won't be law, because we're going to fight this bill really hard. Also, they are asking parents, in this bill, they're asking parents to sign a form while they're at this doctor's visit, stating that, basically saying they're endangering their child could possibly die, and they're having you sign your name. So That's another thing that we can't stand for. We shouldn't be having to admit guilt for anything, because vaccination is not a guarantee, and it definitely has risks. So in some cases, parents with injured children may be protecting another child, and it would be irresponsible for them to vaccinate. So why should they have to say that they're endangering their child? That's ludicrous. We need to start as a group standing up to the government and saying, hey, you guys are overstepping. You have no right to my body. We're not going to tolerate this anymore. We cannot sit by quietly, because they're going to continue to take the freedoms if we let them. So you need to stand up. You need to demand that your legislators respect the right to your body, that you can be sovereign over your body and the bodies of your children. Meet with your representatives. You'd be surprised what a point you can make with your representative. A couple of weeks ago, just 2 moms and I went and met with one of the co-sponsors of HB 564. She did not even realize that the philosophical exemption was being pulled off the table. She thought that the bill was about collecting data on unvaccinated children. So once we gave her all the information that we had at the meeting, which she looked over, and she said, oh, I would not support them removing this exemption. I will withdraw my support for this bill when it comes to the floor if they do not keep the exemption in place. So, I mean, look what a difference you can make. Just 3 moms, just 3 of us went and did that. So we all need to reach out to our representatives. We need to get active, and we also need to get active in the community. So it's great, we're all on Facebook, and everybody's, arguing and making their points and pointing and posting their information, and it's great, and that's a great way to educate people. But a lot of times on Facebook, people can write you off. They don't have to see you. They don't have to see your injured child. They have a hard heart to you. So what I would encourage everyone to do is take some time to step away from social media sometimes and go talk to your neighbor. Tell your neighbor your vaccine injury story. Tell the people at your church or whatever in your community. Get out there and soften their hearts with your story so that they will be open to hearing more about what the risks are. They don't want to hear about it because they're just so closed up. So just try to reach them through their heart first, and you might find that you can open their mind. If you would like to get active with OAMF, or you want assistance, or you want to meet with a rep but you don't feel confident to go and speak with them on your own, we will send a representative from our group to come with you. Just go to www.ohioamf.org and reach out to us there, or we're on Facebook. We're very active on Facebook, so you can message us there, and we would be happy to put you to work in a number of ways.